This first exercise is taken actually from the beginning of a Tai Chi Chuan form, hand form, which is a martial application. But here we're using it as a form of exercise. The breath coming in and the breath going out. In as the hands rise and out as you sink down. Here from the side angle, the main point here is to notice that the back remains straight. Try not to lean forward at the waist. This will promote use of the thigh muscles of the leg and help get you a decent stretch into the ankles and the use of the thigh. And again, the breathing is up, in, down, out. In the seated form, you can see that the hands need to go to the side of the knees on the way down. But if you were unable to stand or just wanted to do a few repetitions to gather yourself whilst sitting in an office chair, then the breath will come in and out on the way down. So in on the way up and out on the way down. Here, with the hips trying to remain forward, you can see the upper body rather than the arm is moving. The arm only moves towards the end of the movement when it bends at the elbow. This is like a sweeping motion, perhaps thinking of polishing the top of the roof of the car. Seated, it's much the same. You breathe in as you turn in one direction and breathe out as you turn in the other following direction. And as with all of these Qigong exercises, they're most beneficial if you attempt to do something like between 10 and 20, or perhaps even more. Here we breathe in, gathering, and as if drawing a bow is the name of this. So the breath comes in as you gather the hands to the center, and now breathe out as you imagine pulling on a bowstring. You can actually put tension into your arms and release there at that last point, feeling the difference between tension in the arms and complete relaxation. Once again, the breath in on the way up and out through the drawing of the bow. Notice how you sink with each of those. Leaning back, the hands are coming back towards the face here, and the breath is in, leaning forward and pushing away with the hands. That's when the breath is exhaled. In, out, in, and out. In, the weight on the back leg, out, the weight on the front leg. The movement is called as if shutting a door. Here is the same thing shown from the side. In, out. Notice how the front foot rises onto the heel, and that action helps to get a nice stretch on the back of the front foot. Moving very slowly, you'll notice in all of these exercises. As if shutting a door again from the side, but this time a seated version. Quite effective if you need a quick sort of gathering of yourself, perhaps before a presentation. You can't get up and draw attention to yourself. Just sitting quietly somewhere, moving back and forward. In as the breathing in as the hands come towards the face, and out as if drawing the stale breath out. This is called an intense version because, as you can see, same thing, the breath is in, but then the body is sinking down before the forward push. And in so sinking down, you'll see that you're increasing the stretch on the back of the leading leg. Just a little more dynamic and tiring. Now this exercise, the breath in on the expansion and out as you hands come forward, in and out. Imagine that you have a sort of sticky ball of chewing gum that you're pulling apart and now compacting together. Sticky substance is quite a good thing to think of. From the side, it shows how the chest comes forward and then weight comes back as the hands go in that closing motion together. Don't touch the fingertips together. Just allow the hands to come in. Breathing in a wide motion and breathing out through the closing motion. Separating the clouds is the Qigong name for this. Lovely movement to do, nice stretch. Keeping the body upright, we scoop there and breathe in. Turn the hands and breathe out as they reach up to the sky and then fall down. The body tends to allow you to hold your breath just as the hands are turning. So the rhythm would be something like this. In, hold, out, and keep going out. So in, the side, coming in through the hold and breathing out again. Again, this side view is trying to show you that you're keeping a straight back if you can, and your weight is dropping between the legs. Now this will give quite a stretch to the thighs and work the thighs, which will also help with circulation and indeed with the lymph system, which is located, one of the channels located in the thigh muscles, the inside of the thigh muscles. Seated version, less dynamic as you can see, but still quite possible. The hands might need to come down the front here as demonstrated, rather than down the sides if you have arms to your chair. The breath in, hold, turn, and out again. Oxygenating the blood, and in so doing, helping to relieve stress in the system. Now, this particular exercise is rather like slow motion squatting at a fly that's hovering somewhere above your head. But this one is being demonstrated because it's a lovely one to do at the end of any session. You're breathing in as the body moves in one direction and breathing out as the body moves in the other. Hands are just changing places. Seated, similar. Turning at the waist, hand coming down, being replaced by the next one, turning at the waist. Hands swapping over at each side. Breathe in as you move in one direction and breathe out as you move in the following direction. It really doesn't matter which is which. Now, what is being demonstrated here is how that exercise, after having done 20, perhaps 30 of these rotations with deep breathing, one should then work very, very gradually, little by little, making the movements smaller. So the hand is coming down lower and lower each time, and the rotation is less and less. You can make it much more gradual than you're seeing on screen at the moment. But the breath must continue in, out, and you continue at the same slow pace as you started until you're barely aware of the sensation of movement, and then you finish. It's a very good exercise for coming to complete relaxation.